Okay, we're at the Quaker Cemetery, which is not too far from the shop. We're cleaning up some spoils today for the township that we live in, and this is the second one that we've done. But anyways, we're just loading up spoils, hauling them off site. It's the staging area is where we're working in right now. Just kind of pan around here and give you a view. Very pretty out here. Very pretty. The temperature is beautiful. Fall is here. The oaks are beautiful. But anyways, yes, just cleaning up the staging area. Like I said, they got some piles up here that need to be hauled away and make room for some more in the future. Yeah, just check that out. I mean, that's a pretty sight. That's a church over there. I remember as a kid we come down here for a church event, but even though it's not too far from actually where I live, I've really never been on this property to speak of. Anyways, I just can't get over how nice the day it is out here. And a minute ago, some guys rode by on some trikes. I was riding motorcycles, but there were 3 trikes. I wish I'd have filmed them because I was waving at them and they was honking and like they was having a good time. I don't know, taking a good day and enjoying the weather. I love that archway. Anyways, back to business. Some of you may be wondering why I'm using a grapple bucket here just to load spoils with. And I brought my smooth bucket as well. I'm going to try to get as close to the camera and try to block some of the wind here. Hopefully I'll do a good job of that. What I wanted to talk about right quick is the use of the grapple bucket on site today. I just felt like it was going to be better to bring the grapple bucket and the smooth bucket. But bringing the grapple bucket, it will allow me to get rid of everything on the top and consolidate it just like I've got right here in front of me. And then I can load it on the truck easier. It's as simple as that. I'm going to try to show you what I'm doing here. Shoot a little bit of video here and see how this even works. See how it works out. So it's working quite well. So I'm very glad that I brought it with me today. So anyways, grapple bucket, it's a Bobcat. I believe it's a 72-inch grapple bucket and it works well. So if you've got one, use it. There comes my truck. I can hear him coming down the road. You know, back when I was young, I was a young man, I had a shop teacher that taught us students, when you're working on a project, you get your tools out and you got your workstation. You keep your tools clean, you keep your workstation clean, and therefore you end up with a better product at the end of the day. Everything's cleaner, everything goes a little smoother. And I still somewhat use that same principle to this day, all these years later. just like this little work site I've got here. I'm trying to keep everything within the parameters of the pile. I know I'm going to get outside of it a little bit, but I just simply try to keep my work area clean. I keep my machine clean. I just keep everything tight, consolidated around it. And then when I'm getting close to being done, when I'm all done, the cleanup goes a little quicker, and therefore you can get off job site a little faster. What I would like to show here is I'm on a loader, and all I'm doing is cleaning up a pile of dirt. But what I'm ultimately going to try to do when I'm all done is I'm going to try to keep this loader inside of the footprint of the pile that's here. And you know, you may be asking yourself, well, when does it matter? Well, maybe for some of you it doesn't really matter at all. When you get hired on a job, customer wants to go with you, if they like your work, or they like your price, whatever it is, they want to hire you. And so what I mean by that is I take that same ideology, as small as that is, and I want to grow on that. I want to make it better. Show up at the job that I'm working on, and I want to do that customer a good job. Because what can happen is you can inadvertently, I don't know, maybe mess something up. And you can tear up additional ground that really doesn't need to be tore up. Therefore, I'm giving the customer a better product. What I want to talk about right quick is side shaving a pile and being aware that your bank of your pile is substantial enough that it won't cave off on your machine and get in your tracks. If you're running a tire machine, you don't really have to worry about that as much, because it'll react a little bit different than your track machines. You just don't want to get into a pile and try to blow through it. You just want to keep it enough of a slope away from your machine that you don't get, you know, debris to fall down in your tracks.
Oh wow!
This is partially why I'm side shaving this pile, to give you a backstory, because there is so much rocks in this little area of this fill pile, and so I'm not taking the machine and just going straight into it. I'm basically just side shaving maybe 5-10% of my bucket, and I'm just being aware of what's falling down. So it's just important that you want to take care of your machine. This is not a very big pile, and it don't take much just to get a rock like this here to fall down in there into your tracks, and then you don't know it because you can't see it. So it's always important to keep the business end of the bucket in front of you, and then keep your machine tracks out away from the pile just a little bit. You know, normal operation, you're going to be up against your material, don't get me wrong, but just give you a little bit of freeboarding space here. But you can see how it's overwhelmed my tracks on the right side there, how much higher it is.
few moments later.
All right, what I want to show here is grading this area out. I've been running east to west, tracking it in, and then I turn my machine at a 45 and I track it in this direction and I back drag it. It's kind of a crosshatch.